Yeah, buddy. What is going on, everybody? It is Childish. We are back at it again. We got ourselves the next event update. Hall of Heroes has been announced, and as some people have guessed over the course of the last week or two, this was one of the candidates here, Lexy, the Fire Assassin. So we got to get it on, man. We got it coming on this weekend from May 13th to May 16th. 3 days, guys. 3 days for your opportunity to collect this particular unit. As always, we always recommend to at least get one if you're early in the game, beginner to middle stage. Try to get one to hold on to because you never know what they're going to do as far as, taking it for the long haul and taking this weekend to skill it up. It really all depends on, what your goals are. So we're going to look at all the, at least the three main ones, the wind, water, and fire, and we'll kind of go from there to see if these kind of fit the bill for you. Let's go ahead and we'll start out with the actual unit in and of itself, Lexy, the Fire Assassin. Lord knows I pulled I pulled quite a few, and so we'll take a look at its skill set here. We can find it. Yeah, buddy. Where we at? Where we at? Where we at? Last one on the list. All the way down. There you go. Okay, so Lexy, Fire Assassin. First skill, attacks the enemy and breaks the defense. 50% chance, can be skilled up to 75% chance. Not too bad, not too bad. Next up, we have the Death Verdict, attacking the enemy 2 times each hit with a 75% chance to leave brand. This was a nice change for the unit. Recently, it was as 50% with the ability to increase it to 75% with the skill ups. Now it starts at 75%, and now you have the ability to max it out. Last but not least, Deadly Seduction. Deadly Seduction decreases the damage that all other allies monsters receive by 50%. So this is kind of similar to like a Darien Diaz kind of combination there. And then decreases the recovery amount of every monster in the battlefield by 50%. It doesn't accumulate with other similar effects. So it's kind of interesting. Like you kind of expected that if there was going to be a fire, HOH, that this would have been one of the prime candidates because as people see it from the outside, this is one of the units that doesn't get used all too often. Its kit is so unique and such that you can tell that you're not gonna, regardless of how cool branding is, you're not gonna bring this into a raid. You're not gonna risk, messing up the heal amount for everybody in the particular unit. But with regards to other units in a game that have certain types of heal, like amplified or decreased kind of modifiers and whatnot, I think it's really, it's maybe not the best out of the three, but it's still one of those units out there that I feel like people really haven't found the right combination to play around with as far as taking advantage of this. So when I think of units that can't be healed, all the way, similar to like a Greg, is it Grego? I think it is Grego, the Dark Lich. Well, now there's ways of getting around that, guys. There's ways of getting around that, and the way to do that is by bringing in units that balance HP. So we're talking about those Chasuns with the Fallen Blossoms. We're even talking about the Fire Undyne. If you've ever seen that particular unit here, where is it hiding? Let's see here. We got it hiding. There we go. Fire. Yeah, the one unit that I have not got up yet. So if, evenly matches the HP percentage and of course heal. So the heal aspect of it is obviously not going to be strong, but being able to balance the HP. I know the light high elemental has a balancing skill, so there's ways of getting around it if you're trying to take advantage of it. But it definitely seems like this is one of those candidates that might be part of some kind of a YOLO team, offensively, kind of going after teams that are banking on trying to take advantage of that heal. In addition to that, looking at his kit overall, as I said before, not one of the fan favorites, but again, I think there's going to be somebody down the road that will test it, that will make good use of it in the PvP setting. So I'm kind of excited to see that come on board. I really don't feel it has a place for raids, but who knows? Who knows what people come up with? Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the water counterpart, Stella. Definitely my favorite one out of all of them. So if you are, if you have this particular unit and you have the opportunity to clear B3 in a reasonable time, this is the opportunity for you to skill up this unit. If you have seen a couple of the videos in my previous, this last month or two or whatnot, I put out a couple of videos, utilizing it in, Dragons, Giants, B10, Rift of Worlds, so on and so forth. I know Caranther is a big advocate of this. When Stella came out and we started taking use of it, we both were kind of going back and forth. played around with this particular unit. Wait until we got it skilled up so we can show you guys the true potential. So if you haven't checked out his channel, make sure you do. The description, his YouTube link is in the description down below. He got a how-to video on how to create, how to build up Stella and so on and so forth. So let's see. So first skill, just like the before, decrease in the defense for 2 turns. We have the branding like before on the fire one, and then last but not least, we have the ability to decrease the attack bar by 10% for each attack, and this number of strikes will increase by up to 7 hits according to your attack speed. So an amazing unit out there. When you're starting to push into that 215, 220 speed, you definitely see the maximum potential out of this. You guys have seen me do well with this unit in the Dragons V10 combined with Vertihill. I'm running at about 185 speed with the Vertihill speed lead plus my speed tower, so I'm getting those hits in, and it does really, really well. And in addition to this particular unit, one of the reasons why my R5 team is successful is because I combine this unit with Hua. Hua and Stella really go hand in hand as far as working together to keep the attack bar of the particular unit down, and so I really like that concept. But again, overall kit is simply amazing. A defense break on the first skill, I'm branding on the second skill to improve the speed at which you clear whatever it is, dragons, giants, or Rift of Worlds. You guys know that with Rift of Worlds, it always comes down to the speed at which you clear. The quicker you can clear it, the less damage you're going to do over time when it comes to at the end of the game. The longer you're out there, the longer his permanent attack counter increases from the Rage for War. So the sooner you can kill this particular Rift of Worlds boss, the better, and that branding is going to help you. And so again, last but not least, we got ourselves Tanya. The attacking enemy, same defense break. We have the ability to self-buff here. Attack power and critical rate for 2 turns instantly grants you another turn. And then the big whammy here, hitting the unit and disturbs its recovery for 2 turns. But an amazing strength on this particular skill. Assaults another enemy if this attack skills on the first target. Tanya, if you guys are looking for a unit that can do some good damage, that is kind of built for Guild Wars, I really do feel like this is like a prime candidate for a great wind monster that you're looking to snipe the opponent and snipe 2 units. Those compositions that you're seeing where they're bringing wind, light, dark, water compositions. From what I've seen, and correct me if I'm wrong, from what I've seen, Tanya generally goes for the units that are, that she's strong against. For that second, you can obviously focus on whoever you're going to hit first with the assault, but for the second attack, it generally goes on the unit that is, neutral towards you, or if you're stronger towards them. If there's another water unit, go for them or whatnot. I've seen it go for. It's obviously not going to choose a fire-based unit over like a neutral-based unit. So the AI is pretty decent. And the damage is second to none. Like this unit, since it has its own ability to attack and critical rate, it's really easy to rune up. It's not going to be too rune, requiring so much runes, right? You can get away with a little bit. The majority of the people that I've seen, get up there with like 2k attack, 150 crit damage, so to speak, with the max skill Tanya, are generally hitting anywhere from 30k to 36k, depending on how the runes are built. This is one of those units that, it really does not require, like I said, it's not rune intensive. It doesn't require, some like crazy violent OP rune. You build it to do the most damage you can with that one hit, with whatever combination of runes. You can do it with, literally random runes all day, or if you got a good, rage set, fatal set, whatever the case may be, whatever it is that gets you 70% crit rate and as much crit damage as possible with the core speed subsets to work it in there if you're trying to use this to sync with a particular unit. Tons of damage, and again, if you have the ability to knock out 2 units right from the get-go in Guild Wars, this can do it well. Now you guys have seen my compositions with regards to win units. I use Charlotte Megan Lucian combo or Bernard Megan Lucian combo because that's just the units that I bring to the table. But if you don't have if you don't have a Lucian and you're looking for something else to do that sniping job, maybe you have a Bernard already and you have a Galleon or a Lure with an AoE defense break or whatnot, you can combine those 3 units, the Bernard, Galleon, Tanya, in an effort to bring those defense breaks in there and snipe 2 opponents if your runes are strong enough. So an amazing unit, guys. Don't leave this one to side. Get it skilled up if you can. Obviously, the focus is on just skilling up the first you know, if you're going to use it, I mean, the third skill is the big one here. You know, if you want to skill this particular skill up after that, that's great. But honestly, you're building this unit to get the advantage of the third skill, and hopefully by the time you kill it, you can you know, you're just basically cleaning up mess, you know, after that with a 3v1 or whatever. So I'd say, you know, get enough skill ups and put enough skill ups, invest enough skill ups in this one to max out that third skill when it comes to damage or whatnot, and then you know, you can use the rest of the skill ups as you see fit. If you have Stella, obviously I would like to see you invest in that. It's an amazing unit. We'll go ahead and showcase the light in the dark real quick, and then we'll go ahead and look at my Stella. Let's see here. So Natalie, again, the defense break, the branding, and then this particular skill attacks the enemy and prevents the unit for using skills with cooldown times for 2 turns. So it's kind of unique. If the target dies, all other enemies will receive the harmful effect. I kind of like that. I like that. So if you could build this to do some, you know, insane damage, then being able to, you know, get the jump, snipe an opponent, and then make it so that no one else can use their skills, it's pretty darn strong. But again, you have to have the speed, you have to have that amount of that raw damage to knock it out, knock your opponent out. And so if you can get it done, I mean, that's an amazing unit to throw in there. Last but not least, one of my favorites, Isabel. Similar to the win one, we got the defense break and the attack power critical rate, and then of course endless death. You know, dealing the damage to the enemy, and if the enemy dies if an enemy dies or ally dies while the skill is on cooldown, it gets reusable again, so you can use the next one up. So an amazing unit, really strong. Big shout out to Noxir. He has this one skilled up, and it's been showcased on my Educate, Dominate, as well as his stream. So if you're curious to see how this one is built and you see him up in the G3 ranks, make sure you check out his rune build. His video is in our Educate, Dominate plays, so make sure you go ahead and check it out. Other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. Let's go ahead and we can look at my Stella here. If you guys are going to kind of want to see how I built it. When I had the opportunity to play around with a couple of units and runes, I definitely made sure that between Hua and Stella, you know, in my composition, Stella was the faster one and had the you know, had the better runes, because I used Stella not just in Rift of Worlds, but also Dragons V10 and Giants V10. So Violent Blade, I'm going speed, crit damage, attack, because that's just the runes that I got available to it. I'm a big fan of rocking with Hua or Stella. I'm a big fan of going attack, crit damage, attack if you can get the speed substats, but unfortunately I can't. I lose too much speed, and of course, because this particular skill is heavily reliant on speed, and you want to take advantage of it. For not only Rift of Worlds, but just having the extra damage, you know, extra opportunities to do damage. You want to have a decent amount of speed on this one. So you're going to see a lot of builds out there recommended all around speed, crit damage, attack to get the speed you want. But if you're one of those OP casts that got tons of speed substats, then take advantage of it. Any kind of set, you know, really works. I know that some people like to start out with Swift and then work their way to Violent. You're definitely going to see a little bit more reliable Stella when it comes to having that violent set at the end of the day. I know that Caranthus played around with Swift, and him and I both agree that we prefer the violent if we got the runes to back it up. Obviously, if you don't have that crazy violent set, then having a nice speedy Swift set will definitely get the job done as well, guys. So again, if you haven't seen Stella in action, definitely check out some of my earlier videos in the last month here. We got some PvP based videos. You basically can go to my YouTube page and go in the search menu and type in Stella, and then you'll see a couple of videos that'll pop up that have like hashtag Stella for the win or Stella sneak peek or whatever, so you can see the damage potential. Just to kind of give you a sneak peek or kind of reminder what this unit can do. This particular third skill, I have been able to do upwards of, I believe about 50k on a unit with a reasonably amount of defense. Not too crazy, anywhere in that 700 to 900 category. And that was with Galleon and Bernard. You know, full attack buff, extra speed, and a defense break on it. So this thing has a potential to snipe anybody if you're looking for it in the PvP. But again, PvE, it gets the job done when it comes to providing everything you want to see as far as hostile effects here on the Rift of Worlds, and then of course manipulating the attack bar that plays a great role in dragons, giants, and so on and so forth. Okay, so that's it, guys, for this event update. Featuring Lexy the Fire Assassin, but again, kind of focusing on the units around Lexy, because I feel like this is going to be a unit that people are going to skill up. Needless to say, there's going to be somebody out there that will skill this unit up and will show the true potential of the unit. Always stay tuned for that. Keep an eye out for these YouTube videos. I'll make sure to put a link if I find it down below, because somebody's going to be testing it out, I guarantee you. Okay, so thank you all for tuning in. It's a pleasure to make these videos for you as always. It's your boy Childish with Childish Plays checking out. Take care, and we will see you next time, guys. We're out.